We'll literally show you the career that you've been itching, dying, wanting to see.
Time to experience the nooks and crannies of careers with your own 2 feet on.
K-Patch.
With Cedric.
It is a Monday, and what better way to kick off the week than with Sky Ceddy coming in after taking his camera out on a certain topic we dispatched him on this past week. How are you doing, Cedric?
I'm doing very well today.
Looking very summery as
thank
well.
You as well.
I know, I'm just loving the summer so far because it doesn't seem like it's getting too hot.
Right.
Like it's not like 35 or anything. Like around 30, late 20s, that's good.
Yeah, I think some of the cloudy days are helping with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm not liking that, and I'm not liking the rain either.
That's
that
true.
Seems to cool things down. But I'm sure after the rainy season, I've heard it could be record temperatures this year. So not looking so much forward to that. What have you been up to since we saw you last Monday, Cedric?
Well, I was able to take a exciting trip down to Daegu area. So it's right outside of Daegu, really.
Okay, I don't know if I've been to Daegu. Daejeon, I'm sure when I was younger. Daegu, maybe not at all.
Wow,
is it somewhere
really?
you visited before?
I think I went there. I think it was one of the tour stops when I first came to Korea back in 2012, where we hit, different cities and areas of Korea. I think, but I cannot remember.
All right.
So this may have been my first time or second
nice.
time.
What was it like down there? Is it, you say just outside of Daegu, was it like countryside kind of area? Or?
Yeah, very countryside. So it did remind me a lot of Daejeon. I feel like there's a lot of similarities, even though I know Daegu's bigger. But it gave me like the Daejeon vibes because I lived in Daejeon for about a year.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Daegu, I'm pretty sure that's the city that is famous for getting really hot in the summer, being almost like a basin of heat when it really steams up, because apparently it's like kind of trapped in a kind of bowl and then it just steams up. So maybe I won't go there this summer. Who knows? Today's hashtag, Cedric, before we move on further, is all about congratulations or 축하. Have you been congratulated recently or given your congratulations to someone for anything like a birthday, a graduation, a job?
Oh, if I can take a moment to pat myself on the back just for a bit.
May indeed.
I was congratulated for hitting 50,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Wow, 50,000.
50,000, yeah.
So I'm not one to check on that since I'm not really in the YouTube community, to be honest. But yeah, last time I remember when we were starting off being friends and stuff, it was around 20 something. Or around that target, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
50,000.
50,000.
Amazing. Did you have a little 50,000 party?
No, but I think consequently we just kind of had some beer or something, just me and Becky.
That's the best way to congratulate one another. Absolutely.
Yeah, because she's been a big part of the channel in the past, I want to say half a year. So I would like to think it's probably because of her.
Wow.
That gave the channel a nice little boost.
That's lovely for you to recognize that as well. 50k, that's big. Like in Korea, there can't be too many YouTubers with more than 50,000 subscribers, right?
Right.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure our listeners are going to be on board. Joshua Lee is already excited you're here. Saying, Cedric, morning, my dude.
Good morning, everyone. I'm reading all of your messages, by the way. I do that every week. I know I don't have a chance to respond to everyone on the air, but thank you guys so much.
What's this? I still want to see Cedric dress as a prince with a symbol for Halloween. Is this something you've signed up to doing?
I don't know. I did.
Did you have too many beers? That 50,000 celebration?
I did say that I would dress up as Aladdin for one of the
Oh, yes.
I don't know if that's a reference.
I do remember.
Yeah.
And then Jasmine as well would Baby Be Me. We could be a lovely couple. Lots of congrats coming in for you. Sci-Fi Kimmy saying that's a big goal. Congrats, Siska as well. Josh Lee too. And one or two people saying, Peter, we miss your YouTube videos with Mama Bint. They are coming again. The latest when I'm 50 years old. That's a nice limit, yeah. All right, so today's topic for our K-Patch videos.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Korea's fast train express train system known as the KTX, or as it stands for, Korean Train Express.
I've never questioned what that stood for. Korean Train Express.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Everyone apart
I'm just
from
kidding.
me.
I just found out researching for the show. But.
Wait, but they express as in EXPRESS, but they've just used the X for that.
Yeah, it looks cooler.
They're kind of cheating.
And KTE doesn't have the same.
Not at all, does it? KTX. Okay, so using the KTX in like COVID-19 times.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, so I'm really curious. So this was part of you going down to Daegu as well?
Correct. So this was this past weekend on Saturday. So it was quite busy. It was a little busier than I actually thought.
Oh.
But I think a lot of people are doing inter-country or inter-country travel. And so there's still a lot of people going back and forth.
Yeah, I think getting on a plane is something that still many are reluctant to do. So going down to Jeju-do, I think, is less busy than usual. But within the country, there seems to be a lot of travel. Whether that's good for Corona, I think, is very debatable. But it is happening, isn't it? So what's your first video going to show us, Cedric?
So we're going to take a look at one of the KTX stations, which happens to be Seoul Station. And I'm going to show you how to buy tickets and some of the other amenities that are available there. So let's watch. So, this is
look very busy outside there.
No. I mean, it usually is busier, but
what time were you there?
I was there. What time was this? Maybe 10 in the morning?
Okay.
Yeah, this is about 10 in the morning.
Not
Saturday.
super early. But that was a sign on the floor at the entrance saying wear a mask.
Right. So you're going to see that throughout the station. So here's some ways that you can actually purchase a ticket through one of these machines here.
No human contact.
No human contact.
In English as well.
English, of course. And so you have the option of choosing your city, destination, the time, or if you want to go the old school way.
Okay.
Once you read the sign about the mask and social distancing.
2 meters or at least a meter from other people.
Right. You can go up to the window.
They've even got masks on behind the screen as well.
Right.
That's
extra
really
protection.
Good. Yeah.
So those are the paper tickets that they give you. And so here are some of the amenities in Seoul Station.
And so they're all open and functioning as normal.
They are.
Just seems like everyone is, for the most part, wearing masks.
Right. I don't think I've seen a single person without a mask, because nowadays I feel like I notice.
Yeah, it does stand out, especially I think people when they're in these crowded indoor spaces, and they have tried to encourage people not to go to crowded indoor spaces, but like if you're getting on the train, you have to go through the station and stuff. I think people are extra weary about themselves and others, so they all try to put on a mask there. I've seen outdoors from time to time these days people not wearing masks as often, but definitely it seems like indoor people, something changes in the psychology. It's like, this is all air that's enclosed and we're going to be breathing in germs, so let's wear some masks.
Right, and I have a funny story about that, because when I left the house today, I actually forgot my mask. And I actually got into the subway, which you're not supposed to do. And I was walking down to the train, and I was like, I freaked out because I realized I didn't have a mask.
Because you really need one,
yeah,
right?
and I felt so self-conscious. And so luckily there was a little store where I could buy some cheap masks.
In the subway station.
In the subway station. So I got lucky because I felt like I was going to get judged or something.
Is there anyone, because you showed us recently riding on the subway, and we know that you're supposed to, like it's a rule at the moment to wear a mask.
Right.
Are there people checking down there?
I haven't noticed anyone checking, but I would imagine that if any employee actually sees someone inside, they would probably go up to them and let them know they need to wear a mask.
I see.
Yeah, but there's not anyone guarding that I've seen at any station.
Sure. I'm guessing it's just employees who are doing other things as well and just on the lookout for that, just casually kind of speaking.
Right.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Kimmy saying, I think you work at a cafe, if I'm not mistaken, saying we make people wear a mask to come to where I work too, and we're also wearing the mask. And I took a train to Chicago in February before COVID to go see VAV in concert, and it was my first time going from state to state on my own via a train. Well, that must have been more comfortable, but yeah, as Cedric has showed us, everyone's wearing masks, at least in the train station, right?
Right, exactly. And so one of the funny things that I noticed is, again, there are signs and notices everywhere that you need to wear a mask and socially distance. And so I actually went to the restroom, maybe a little TMI, but at the urinals in the male restroom, because there aren't, at least in Korea, there are never like any, what do you call those, like little blockers or whatever between
the partitions,
urinals.
yeah.
The partitions, right.
That is not that common here, is it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it. So there's a sign above each urinal saying keep your distance. So you have to make sure that you're not, doing your business next to somebody.
Oh, like
just
don't
go a couple
stand
urinals
next
down.
to them. I'm always uncomfortable when it's empty and someone just comes and stands next to me. I'm like, why do that? Just stand a little further away. But it's especially being encouraged at the moment. That would be good, actually, if there were more partitions between the urinals at COVID-19 times, because sometimes in the West you see those, right?
Right.
But do you know what I saw that I'm really curious if anyone of our listeners knows? In some parts of China, they have the sit-down toilets all next to each other without any partitions or cubicles, and you just do your business next to one another.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's good for the environment, I suppose, less material for building, but I don't think I could go then. I'd be too self-conscious and bad for corona as well.
Right, absolutely. Now, so again, one of the things that is interesting is you can purchase your ticket so many different ways online, and you can just use a phone app or you can just use the website. And the most important thing is to make sure you just purchase the correct ticket and get your seat number and also your train car number, and you're good to go.
Did you buy your ticket literally there?
So what happened was Becky actually bought it online. And then she went to the counter to get the actual printout. Because there were 5 of us that were actually going.
Do you need that then? You can't just buy it online and show something like on your phone?
So actually you can.
Okay.
You can. So the most important thing is to make sure you have some sort of proof that you purchased it and what your ticket number is.
Yeah, I think I've used the KTX app and they've got an English interface for that. It's not as detailed, though, as the Korean one, because I was trying to use the Korean, and there's a lot more things you can fiddle about with on that one.
Right.
Like, the English app is very basic, but it works for what you need to do.
Right.
And I think you can use international credit cards on that platform as well.
Right. Exactly. And also, if you're going to use a ticket booth, there are 2 different types of machines that you could purchase your ticket from. One is for domestic cards or Korean bank cards only. And then one you can also use if you only have an international card or credit card, you can use a separate machine and it's labeled as well.
Oh, they've got that there available.
They've got that as well.
That's good.
Yeah, so tons of options.
And so that was Seoul Station. That's where, I believe, doesn't the KTX leave from that spot?
Right, so that is the first station or the last station, however you want to look at it. And so that's where the station starts from the north and goes all the way down south to Busan.
Yeah, you can get many different routes now on the KTX, right? So you can go to many different cities, including Daegu, apparently. I wasn't even sure that was a thing. How long does it take to get to Daegu, by the way?
It was about right under 2 hours.
Okie dokie. Well, Busan is a lot further, but that's only taking you a little over 2 hours, I think, right? So maybe it's the stops on the way or the track as you're going down.
Yeah.
We'll get to some more videos from Cedric. We've also got a lot of messages from you about trains after some G-Friend. This one's 시간을 달려서 rough. We're back for part 2 of K-Patch with Cedric in the studio talking about the express train, the KTX, in post-corona times. Got a few messages to read out first.
Yeah, Josh Lee says, I take extra mass with me and I would give you one, Cedric, if you would accept it. And of course.
As long as it's not used.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
If you took the one off your face and then put the spare one onto you, that would be interesting.
I mean, if I was desperate enough, maybe.
Yeah. Josh, you seem rather cleanly anyway.
and to Josh's point, Iris also says, I keep them in my car and in my bag just in case I forget. It's still mandatory here. And yes, that is a great idea, something that I think I need to do.
After today's episode, Cedric. Yeah. But you're right, now it's very easy to buy a mask in convenience stores and pharmacies. The rationing, I don't think it's over. I think now you can still get 10 masks a week on any day, but from convenience stores they've got all the non-like KF94, KF80 ones, and Chi was telling us from last week they started selling the summer masks, so the ones that are really kind of breathable, and
maybe that's what I need.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not as much protection, but it's like a toss-up with sweating all over your face or being protected from corona. Somewhere in between sounds good to many people at the moment. We also had a message here from Cam saying saying Seoul Station's a really nice one. I just hung out there, just people watching. Yeah, when it's not Corona-19 times, that's just a fun thing to do, absolutely. And it's a big, airy station. You could have seen that from Cedric's video. There's a lot of space in there, right? And high roofs. And stuff like
and
that.
I didn't even show you everything.
Yeah.
But it's quite huge.
That's the area that connects to the Solo 7017, the walkway as well, right?
Right.
So it's a good tourist place to go. They've got the old Seoul Station, which has some good and bad memories from like Japanese colonialization, but they don't use that as a train station anymore, right?
Right. Siska says, I took the KTX when I went to Busan, and she went from Seoul Station to Busan. So nice and fast.
Yeah, it's very convenient, isn't it?
Right. I think you can get to Busan in as little as 2 hours and 15 minutes from Seoul Station, depending on the train that you take.
Not bad at all. And it can sometimes be quicker than taking a plane because you don't have to do all the check-in business and like going through immigration and stuff like that.
Very true.
But it's not super cheap. Like, I think you can get some low-cost airlines at the same or maybe even cheaper prices than the train, which to Busan last time I went was about 100,000, like return-ish, I think. About.
Okay.
How much do you know for Daegu?
Daegu was about 50,000-ish.
Return?
No, one way, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
one way,
similar prices to going down to Busan, because you're in the train for almost the same time if you're saying around 2 hours, right? But it's a nice service for sure. Getting on to video number 2, Cedric. We're going to get on the train?
We're going to get on the train, and you're going to
Yay.
see how awesome it is. So let's watch.
Have things changed, like in Corona times, on the train, I wonder?
Just a little bit.
Oh, lots of the signs, again, everywhere.
Right.
There's a bit of a buffering issue at the moment. We need some new computers at Arirang, I feel. But what we can see on screen is people walking along, and now they've stopped. Is this social distancing? They stopped
Right. Yeah, so we are walking towards the platforms, and there are a lot of platforms. I don't know how many. I want to say maybe 12, 14.
Loads, right? You need to check your tickets to make sure.
Right. So we're doing a little stop motion action here.
You can see, though, that on the escalator, people are not like 2 meters away. It's not like a strict social distancing in that way, right?
Right. And as you can see, there's you have to find your train number because it's on your ticket.
You can't number that you can get into. Or if you've watched Train to Busan, you know that you can open the screen doors and just walk the whole way if you want.
That's true, which I've done when I risk missing the train.
Yeah.
You just get on any car and just walk to your car.
But it can be a long way walking down that train, right? And this is just showing us going through the train car. Yeah.
Right, because again, we were almost gonna miss it.
Oh, really? So you just got in anywhere and just had a little walk. Apologies for the lack of sound and the jumpy nature of this. We'll try to upload the proper version later on. But on the train itself, were there any like instances of like differences due to COVID-19?
So the only difference that I picked up was the fact that you have to wear a mask inside when you're riding.
Oh, whole time?
Yeah, the whole time, except, if you're eating something or munching, you can have it off just for that moment. And, me and the guy that I was sitting with, one of the members of the team that we were riding down together with, we were just eating something, and then we forgot to slip our mask back on our face. So an employee came up to us and said, "Hey, please put on your mask."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they're quite anal about that.
They are monitoring it. So throughout the whole train, what I've noticed, what was different this time is you had employees going throughout a lot more. Versus when I used to ride the KTX, barely you would ever see like an employee come through.
Yeah, not trying to encourage fare evasion, but sometimes to the point where you'd be like, did I need to even buy a ticket? Like no one's checked on my whole journey.
Right, and that's a good point because a lot of times you you could probably get away with it, but the moment you try, someone's going to come up to you and ask for your ticket.
Yeah.
So that's why you always need to have proof.
Please do buy a ticket.
Right. So especially if the train is full, or you're sitting in someone else's seat, it's easy to get caught. So don't ever do it.
No.
Don't ever do it. It's not right.
Martin did tell us, he used to be a guest on Mondays here, that if you are caught without a ticket, so sometimes he would get on the train because he just didn't have time to buy a ticket, then you could find one of those people who's checking the tickets and say, I didn't get a ticket, can I buy one now? And if there's a seat, they'll sell you a seat, but usually there's just standing left. So they take, and you'd pay a little fine on top of the ticket price, but not exorbitant or anything. And he said that was kind of a little life hack if you're really late and you want to get on a train.
That's good to know.
Not a bad idea, yeah. Josh asked us, can you still eat and drink on the KTX? Because I know people can drink alcohol on it. Yeah, I don't think there's any change in that, right?
No. So on the ride back, because we went to a winery in Daegu.
Oh,
and
nice.
So we had a couple of bottles of wine, bringing back up with us.
Brilliant.
And so we popped one of those open. We're drinking that on the ride back. It was like 9 at night.
Okay.
And we had some chicken and some kimbap.
Wow.
On the train.
You can't buy like fried chicken on the train, can you?
Not on the train, no. But
so
in the
bought it
station.
in advance, yeah.
Right, in the station.
You're free to take it up. I mean, they do encourage you not to eat anything too smelly, but like fast food is totally fine on there. So was the train like to capacity pretty much full?
No, there were a lot of empty seats.
But were they doing the things in the cinema like you showed us before where they're blocking off like rows or something?
You know, that is a good point, because when we were looking at the tickets, it seemed like there weren't too many tickets available or times available. And so maybe what they did was limited the amount of tickets that you could purchase. Right. So I think that might have been the case. I'm not sure.
Okay. We're going to get to some of your messages. We've got a video or two to play from you in part 2 as well. We do have the video again, so maybe we could just play that in the background to people who are watching, and then we could just talk a little bit more about different parts of the KTX, right?
Right.
If you could play that, that would be helpful. It's coming onto the screen now. We got the music, which is doing a lot. It's just me and Cedric here on the screen.
The beauty of live radio.
Yes, hopefully we can put this over onto the right screen. But anyway,
Stands for you.
the KTX in general is a wonderful service, I think. In the US, do you have something similar?
I don't think so. I know that we have the Amtrak, which is one of the bigger, if not the biggest train system.
Is that the one where they sometimes have like double deckers so you could kind of sleep on them?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I think there are a couple of express versions of the Amtrak, because I was looking it up because I wasn't sure if we had a very fast system, but it's not as fast as the KTX here.
Yeah, in the UK, even though we're like, I think, one of the birthplaces of railway, we don't have that high speed of train, unfortunately, which is a bit sad due to like infrastructure and stuff. The thing about a train that I love on the movies is like the meal cart, and they have like a little sit-down restaurant and stuff. I don't believe the KTX has that, at least in just regular class. Like there is first class, but it's not that different, I've heard.
No, it's a little more spacious, and I think they get like because I rode first class once, and I remember we got like a cookie or some
nice,
wet
like
wipes
a complimentary
or something. Yeah.
And I think I don't know about COVID times, but they used to come around with a trolley and bring some snacks that you could buy like from them in economy class as well. And you can see on Cedric's video as well, there are some vending machines like here and there in between the carriages, right?
Right.
Was there any hand sanitizer here and there, I wonder? Not noticeable?
Yeah, I didn't notice any, let's put it like that. I mean, likely there were. Knowing Korea,
yeah,
there had to have been.
Like, even if it's just stuck to a wall with like sellotape, you'll see it here and there.
Right.
And you can see on his video the USB and power points, so it's very convenient for your regular traveler, right?
Yeah, definitely. But, I have noticed that every train is different. There's some older trains and some I guess, newer ones, and not every train, or at least every car, has an outlet.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, so I always feel lucky, like I hit the jackpot when I get one with an outlet.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that on some transport here. Like, you're just lucky to have it. And I'm like, does that mean I could ask the other person who's sitting next to it if I can use theirs? I'm not sure. We're going to get on to your stuff after another song request now from Kimmy in the US. There's been a lot of coffee talk in the YouTube chat, so you've asked to hear Just Two with Long Black. What was it? Korean Train Express. But I've learnt today. Thank you for teaching me. I just took it for granted. It must mean some kind of fast train thingy, KTX, but never thought of the acronym. We got Ming Ming on board from the US, who said, "Hi, thanks for the great program, Peter. I'm just curious, and I wonder if it's not too personal to ask, does Cedric have any Asian lineage?" We've talked about it many times on the show, so it's okay to ask, I'm sure.
Yeah, so my mother is actually Korean, so I am half Korean.
Indeed. You can check out his YouTube channel, Sky Sedi, and then another one you're heavily associated with, the Halfie Project.
The Halfie Project.
And there's loads of good stuff on there about Cedric's lineage, and then just lots of experiences of Halfies, like myself even, you can find. Someone commented recently that they just recently watched that video I did for you.
Oh, really?
Last year, maybe? And they're like, really, really happy to see that kind of talk
Very
on
cool.
it. If you want to see more, go there, Ming Ming. We've got some more messages from Aim Later as well.
Yeah, so she said, I once went with the train from Jakarta to Surabaya, and it took 12 hours. Wow.
12
After I arrived,
hours.
my butt was numb from sitting too much. I wish Indonesia has a KTX type of train too.
I wonder how long it would take with a KTX if it takes 12 hours on like a regular train. Because there are still some services you can get from like Seoul to Busan, which are not the high-speed one.
Right.
And I think the tickets are maybe 40% cheaper or something like that.
Right, you have the Mugunghwa, which is the slower train, but it still gets you there pretty fast. Maybe you can double the time usually that it takes with the KTX.
So if you're not in a massive rush and you want to save money, there is still that option, right? But I don't think you can be on a train for 12 hours to anywhere in Korea because the country just isn't that big. So I don't think we have any like sleeper cars and things like that, because most trains, I guess the longest you'd be on there is about 5 hours, maybe, give or take. We also had a message from Kevin, I see, saying Amtrak's fastest trains are the Acela Express runs, which travel exclusively along the Northeast Corridor between Boston and Washington, but even those go no faster than 240 kilometers per hour, and then only for a short period. The average speed is close to 135 kilometers per hour. How fast is the KTX, Cedric?
So the KTX actually goes average speed 305 kilometers per hour. So almost, I guess, 3 times as fast as the average speed of the Acela.
Goodness gracious, yeah. I think you need the high-speed train infrastructure. Like, you need proper tracks for those high-speed trains. It's not just about putting any train onto any track. So it's a lot of money. And I think the developed countries, they have their railway systems from, like, decades and decades ago.
Yeah.
So they just don't want to invest in a new one, I guess.
Right. You also need a special type of structure of a train. You know, the aerodynamics and all that, fancy smart stuff.
Yeah, there's one country that has the maglev, which I think it runs on magnets, and it kind of semi-levitates like, with the track, to make it quicker.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm maybe not so safe, right?
Right. Sci-Fi Kimmy says, on the local trains in Chicago, they stick your ticket up on your seat so that they could see it and know that you got punched in.
I've seen that. Not in Korea. It must have been in the UK, yes. And that's a way to show that you've bought a ticket for that chair.
Right.
And I think it just makes you feel ashamed if you sit in one without a ticket and you're like, okay, someone's going to notice, right? Makes it harder. Dan 2L on VLive says the expo line from the DTLA to the beach is about 45 minutes. Is that downtown LA, if I'm reading that correctly?
Might be.
Because I remember seeing some kind of train line between like the suburbs to the city centre of LA, and it ran in the middle of the highway. It was really interesting to see. Like here in Korea, you've got sometimes the subways next to the bridge traffic when you're going over the Han River, but next to a highway, like right in the middle, I mean between the two lanes going different directions. It was so odd and interesting. We do have a video from Siska in Indonesia to show you now. So you say, here we don't have the KTX train. Our train is a normal speed one, but the facilities are pretty good. You can check out this special train at the website indorailtour.com. The seats look lovely.
Yeah, that was the executive class.
What?
Oh, sleeper train.
It looks, mate. So if you're in there for 12 hours, hopefully, Emlita, you could go in that class next time.
My goodness.
They had like a norebang kind of area, like a lounge. And that looks like there is an actual bed in one of the carts there.
A dining room?
And it looks like a living room. Yeah, wow. We don't have trains with carriages like that regularly here. And I think this is with you and some of your friends. That looks amazing.
That's insane.
It kind of reminds me of those old films they show, like the Orient Express or those classic trains, you know, where you get a sit-down meal and a little carriage, like Harry Potter style almost.
Right. I mean, I guess it would make sense because of the long rides, potentially. But man, that looks so nice.
I'd like the trains to go slower here just so we could have those facilities on here. This would be amazing. Tofu's on board saying, I recently watched Train to Busan and started crying. That's the zombie thriller. Have you seen that, Cedric?
I have, yes. They're coming out with a part 2.
Yeah.
Right?
And there is even, you did Seoul Station earlier, an animated... It runs at the same time as Train to Busan. So you know that train leaves Seoul Station. It shows you what happened at Seoul Station in an animated movie, which is meant to be pretty good as well. But yeah, don't let that put you off. There are not usually zombies on your trains. And you may see Gongyu one time. Who knows, right? Fingers crossed. Siska also says, my favourite food when I'm on the train is the Indomie. I think that's the instant noodles. That's one thing you don't see too often on Korean trains is ramyeon. Like, we eat it here, there and everywhere, but I don't think they have like boiling water usually there.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be too difficult to bring some ramyeon on there.
Yeah, because even on the planes you sometimes get ramyeon for a snack, right? In the long distance ones, which is interesting. Ing Yin also got in touch from Malaysia saying this is my railway experience in Taiwan and Japan. Taipei railway station. Oh, that looked quite nice from the outside, quite traditional. The train
chopsticks.
food.
Oh.
Like a proper meal there. Wow, with some meat and rice. It looks like airplane food almost, right? Is that the urinal? Thank you for showing. Oh, that's like a hole in the floor kind of thing, isn't it?
I guess so. Clean toilets.
And the track that runs, right through a street with people just walking up and down it.
Oh, yeah, that's quite scary there.
I hope they get out of the way quick enough. Yeah, this looks like Japan, where they're famous for their bullet train from back in the day. When I was on the subway in Tokyo, though, I found it a nightmare. It was so difficult to transfer.
There's so many systems there, subway systems,
and not much English as well.
Right.
This looks like you on a higher speed train with kind of like airline seats, it seems, with the fold down tables and stuff. That's nice. Yeah, and the KTX, the tray table is interesting, how it's made of like metal and you kind of pull it up and out, right? It looks very sturdy, but not something I've seen on many other train systems.
Right. I love it because I always usually just whip out my laptop or eat a meal there, so it's very convenient. So I assume you've been on the bullet train in Japan.
No, we just stuck to Tokyo.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't think we went anywhere else actually to any of the other cities. And that kind of put me off getting on any other trains in Japan after that. Because for one transfer, you had to come out of the station and it was still the same station name, but then you had to go around to another entrance and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I wasn't confident.
Yeah, it's because they're all individually owned by different companies.
I see. So I think subway lines 1 to 8 in Korea are all run by the same, and then there are a couple of private ones or part private, but they kind of run together as best as possible.
Right.
We had a message here from FM who said trains in Canada not super fast, but recent demands to increase services in southern Ontario have seen more passengers, yet some derailments involving industrial loads have small communities worried. Yeah, you don't want that. The safety seems pretty good in Korea, right? We don't hear too often of a fatality like with the trains.
Yeah, every once in a while, maybe something. But I think the safety percentage is much better, or the statistics rather, of compared to maybe going by car or maybe other form of transportation. So I think there's no need to worry.
No, not at all, right? That's it for today's edition of K-Patch. We are deciding on another topic. We've got some subjects out there, so I'm just going to put them out there. And if there's anything in particular listeners want us to film, or Cedric to film, then let us know. Some ideas you came up with were like foreign food culture, pet culture, live performances, the theme park, or summer picnics. If any of those take your fancy, then just send us a message and Cedi will be keen to do that for you. Have a wonderful week, Cedric, and we'll see you again next Monday.
All right, see you guys next week.
Let's play this one from Speaker Tonight.